Happy Friday, everybody. It is 12:40, second and final video of the week. We got a doozy here. Let's just jump right into it. Let's get the overall backdrop, as we always do. Backdrop of the market is as you see. Market is up across the board. I'm going to touch on a couple of reasons, but I think a lot of the sentiment moving forward is the expectation of the resolution between Iran and the dispute with the United States. Yesterday, we had some interesting movement. Trump said we were going to bomb them hard at night. Then an hour later, he says we're not bombing them. Then we're thinking about bombing them. Then we're not bombing them. So, it's not that easy to get a good read on this thing. But the one thing that Trump element adds is the volatility, which volatility is fantastic for swing traders and momentum traders because it gives you opportunities to buy, opportunities to sell. So let's go into the overall NASDAQ. So I want to also say something. A lot of people are like, the market moves so fast. Yes, the market doesn't move anything like what it used to move. So years ago, you would have recoveries and bear markets that would take months at a time. Now things move so much faster. So we've been accustomed to these like V-shaped recoveries. They've happened during COVID. It happened last year during the Trump tariff tantrum. And then from all accounts, I have a feeling we're going to get this again. And so what does that mean for us as momentum and swing traders? First of all, this was a huge move up. This came down, found support right around that 50 and came down 9%, corrected. And now it looks like it wants to reclaim the 21, which it is above the 21 right now. 21 is really like my line in the sand exposure here. That's a big number. Obviously, yesterday was a huge move up, massive move up on the news. And if you were kind of blocking out the news and you just went strictly off the technicals, you'd be like, oh, textbook, came down, bounced right off support. You didn't even know the news. You'd be like, okay, that sounds right. So in any case, the market's up today. You don't always need a reason why it's up or down. You just need to trade the market that you have, not the one that you want. Gold, let's just touch this real quick. Gold is up pretty substantial, 3%. That's pretty large on gold. But however, this has looked like a shit chart for the better part of the last 3 months. It lost the line in the sand there, which it made a lower low. It really needs to make sure this is the low. If I'm a gold, selling the hell out of that if it makes another low. I'm an investor in gold, not a trader. So Bitcoin, just simply touching on this. I saw a video from Michael Saylor, and he basically was telling people, well, I told you not to sell your Bitcoin, but I said that we could sell our Bitcoin. It's the most retarded thing ever. So the point being is MicroStrategy owns a lot of liquidity. Don't follow what he does. If you believe in Bitcoin dollar cost average, don't trade this right now because this isn't a tradable form. It's not there for that, at least not right now. Okay, touched on that. Oh, oil is down. Oil really starts to look like it's breaking down. So for those of you that are in your oil short with me, once it loses this area and it makes a lower low below there, it is going downtown, Larry Brown. So short's working out really good. I think that we are going to have this really break down quite a bit, and our short will pay off if it has not already paid off for some people, depending on when they started their short. All right, let's jump into it. Let's start off with the IPO of the century. SpaceX has officially begun trading. There's not much to look at here. It's up 23%, one bar, one day. Just looking at it on my phone, it is, up about 23%. It opened up at 135. So for those of you that caught it at 135, you're up. I'm not playing the stock either way, though I do think eventually I would like to short it. I'm not there yet. I think the euphoria has to pass. And I think also the lockup period for investors, once that lockup period becomes open and investors can dump shares, I think the stock's going to fall down. Now, granted, institutions are going to tug a war into this thing. So this is just not interesting for me on either side. Maybe eventually the short side and maybe eventually the long side way, way down the line. I'm just not there yet. If you're good with owning this and just stashing it and not paying attention, I think that that's an okay move. If you're going to put that in your IRA or stash it for a couple of years, my hunch tells me I would not bet against Elon Musk. I think this will be worth more money down the line. Okay. All right. Now let's go into stocks that we're trading, what we've done, how things are working. Let's start off with Intel. All right. This is my favorite chart. I mentioned this on my video on Monday. I mentioned it last week when I removed my stop loss. I've continued to add. I actually added a ton of shares earlier this week. I am very long this name. This is the best looking chart I can find right now in the market. So I'm long, having another good day today after yesterday's strong day. I think this takes out the 133 high by next week. No questions asked. This is not financial advice, but rather for educational purposes. This to me looks fantastic. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's do some other charts I like. So I mentioned I got back into SanDisk last week on Friday. I mentioned it was appetizing. I said all the words: delicious, appetizing, sexy, whatever. It worked out. That's all I know is the damn thing worked, and I'm up like 30-something% on shares. I closed my calls a little too early. I closed half of them yesterday and half the day before. But my shares are up, all-time high again. This is one of the leaders in the market, over 2,000. I was on record to toot my own horn a couple of weeks ago. I said this is beeline straight to 2,000. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's actually a cheap stock relative to its peers. It is a cheap stock. Its multiple is not bad. I know that sounds crazy to some people, but it really is a cheap stock, and it is at an all-time high. I'm not selling my shares today. I'm going to keep that position intact. So yeah, SanDisk looks good. To me, that is one of the better looking ones. Micron, I got lucky selling this. I sold this here. So it was Tuesday. Yep, I sold it here, and I sold what I had left, or Tuesday, and last week I sold a bunch. I'm not saying the chart is bad. I'm not saying it's not going to form, but stocks need to form bases, right? A base building is very healthy. And so I tell people that because people become very impatient. It runs up and then it does this. You see this double bottom move. This is super productive, super healthy. And you have to understand that stocks just can't keep going up like this. They build bases, they form, and then they make their next leg up. Super constructive, super healthy. This is a name I already told you I like it. Pinguino, the Pinguino, which I'm also in that. It looks super good too. I mentioned on Friday I had to buy shares. I kind of got a little concerned midweek. I was fortunate enough that on some of these days I chopped a couple, like 10, 15% positions on the way up. And that's another thing. If you're a swing momentum trader, you are chopping on the way up, so that when you have this correction that we had last week and the beginning of this week, you're a little bit lighter and you have some cash at your disposal to start activating trades, or you don't have to activate trades. Anyways, this looks fantastic. Great looking chart, sitting right at the 5. Just looks great. You're not selling. Pinguino. All right, let's keep it moving. Rocket Lab, I sold this, and I'm kind of happy I did. I didn't have a huge position left because I was taking profits on the way up. And then I mentioned this, I did not want to sit through this base building. So fortunately, I sold half of it in this area, and then the rest of it yesterday is adios. So I do not own a position in Rocket Lab anymore. I did pretty good on the trade. Obviously, I could have done better if I would have sold all of it here, but you're never going to get that. Very rarely can you be that good at this. Fortunately, I sold half of it in this area and then the other half in this area. Still do really good. I love this name. I like this name eventually. It's just I'm not interested in waiting in a base building setting. And this is going to need to form a base. Also, liquidity is driving out of these names for SpaceX. And I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. So you've got a liquidity drive. I mean, ASTS, I bet this is down as well. Let's see. Yeah, ASTS also down. I mean, look at that. That's money is getting sucked out of this to go into SpaceX. Planet Labs. Let's do Planet Labs. Yeah. The whole sector is all red except for SpaceX. What does that tell you? Liquidity is being driven out. So anyways, I think I exited. For those of you that text me on a regular, the threads that I'm in, I exited Rocket Lab. If you're with me on that, congrats. Strong sell there. I think that was appropriate based on the SpaceX. I think that was a very obvious telltale there. Tesla, this I should have sold, honestly. I take that back. The pattern looks good. The technicals look good. I actually think this is holding up better than expected. I still own it. I'm down probably down like 5% now on this. I'm not going to sell it because of the correlation to SpaceX. I think going higher. I think I just need some more patience. Okay. And what do we got? Oh, Light, Lumentum. I mean, these names, look, up 3%. This is, to me, the best one in the whole sector. I still love this. I mean, this looks fantastic. If you're looking at this from a chart perspective, we're getting tighter days. I talked about these were loose. Like, I wanted to see tighter trading, and I'm seeing it. I like the breakdown. I think constructive at the moment, and I'm positive with that. Lumentum looks good. Dell, this is one I had to sell. Sorry, I had to pause that for a second. So Dell had to sell this because it was the drawdown. I sold, obviously I sold some here. I sold some here. I sold some here. I think I sold some here. And then finally yesterday I sold what was left in it. I just wasn't interested in, I just was not interested in holding this right now for a base building. So anyways, and I think, yeah, they did a disclosure, so the disclosure was done, and I really don't want to sit through that. Okay, moving right along. Sorry, guys. Oh, TGTX. I've been trading this quite a bit. I mean, this has been great for me. I've hit a couple day trades on this week and also on a couple momentum. This looks phenomenal. This looks great. I think it's going to get a little extended. If you're trying to buy it, I think you can buy it today. You could buy it potentially on a small pullback, but I did sell yesterday some. The day before, I took it on a day trade. I had some options. I've been day trading this. This has been this and SanDisk, the two names I'm day trading on top of momentum movement. So this looks good. Another one that's starting to be an oldie but a goldie. I own it in my IRA. I never could do well trade. This is looking fantastic, though. I mean, if you guys have been following me since last year, I've traded this a couple times. It didn't work out every time. This is starting to look good. I own this in my IRA. I have good amount of profit. So anyways, Bros is one that you could put on your watch list for next week. Chart looks great. AMD, I think, got upgraded this morning. I'm down to like a skeleton 25% of my original position. This looks good. I think this is going higher. And if I want to be honest, I mean, this chart and pattern, the way it's making this looks like it might be ready to rock and roll next week. Well, actually, I'd say I think it is ready to rock and roll next week. So AMD, I'm down to like a small position, but I got to be honest, if it gets above this high, I'm going to buy it again. I'm going to add to it. What else we got? Oh, let me put one on your list that I like. An oldie, and it's back, is Robinhood. I think Robinhood has made its low. I'm going to look to buy this next week at some point. For those of you that text me that you're on, you'll know when I do that. A friend of mine is working on, I think, a Discord or Patreon, some kind of app that's going to allow me to be in a thread with everybody to activate real daytime trades, and then also to cultivate a trading experience and or investing experience with a lot of my friends that trade and invest. So stay tuned for that. What else we got? So that's it. I'm trying to think if I got anything else that I'm trading. I mean, I'm so condensed in these names like SanDisk, Intel, Pinguino, Lumentum. I'm so strong in these names right now that I'm really just letting my winners win. SpaceX, by the way, has gone up now almost 30% in total. I think that's it for the week, or for my closing out for the week. I still own the positions that I always talk about, open and all that, and my small stock CERS. I haven't sold any of those. That's it. I'm super condensed in these names. I'm letting my winners win. And I'm looking for new opportunities when they present itself, kind of like Robinhood. Kind of the stocks that I look at are here. But, listen, I'm going to be honest. You could day trade SanDisk. If you're a day trader, the cadence with SanDisk has been, I've made good money day trading SanDisk. And I mean, amongst also owning it as a swing trade, it is just the cadence and the range is fantastic. Today, $128 range, but that percentage range is phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know. So I think you can day trade that. I think you could day trade TGTX, and Intel is again, not to be redundant. Intel to me is just, think it's going higher. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this market. For those of you that got scared for a 2-3 day pullback, it's part of trading. If you can't stomach 2-3 days, maybe don't do this. Maybe just invest or something then, because if you can't take that, I don't know what to tell you. So, all right, that's it for the week. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Pay attention to the close today of SpaceX. That's going to be interesting. I know some people are going to try to short that. I don't know if that's appropriate just yet. And short oil, because oil's going downtown, Susie Brown. All right. Have a good weekend.